I'm up in the Daydream Garden, and this is kind of one of the more shady parts along this fence line here. And I wanted to move around some of these hostas that I have and get them placed differently, and then put in a couple new perennials that I picked up recently. These are an Alexandria brunnera, and they have a really beautiful silvery, like metallic almost foliage to them. They're the lightest one I've seen. They're less variegated and it's more of a solid color. They almost look kind of white in the photo that I saw. Right now they're a little raggedy because, you know, end of season. But so I want to get this hosta out of here, maybe a couple of these other ones, I'm not sure, and get these brunnera planted in here right behind the bugleweed. These are Alexandria brunnera. It says that they get 14 to 17 inches high and that they should be spaced 30 inches apart in part shade to shady conditions. So I think this area should be perfect. Okay, this is the Whirlwind Romance series hellebore. (18 to 24 inches high and spaced the same, and less than 4 hours of sun daily. right here I have a hosta that never really got to fully grow up. It's a little nibbled. I'm actually going to take this out and put in this Misty Lace goat's beard. It's a dwarf one. It gets 1.5 to 2 feet tall, spaced the same, and it's good for part shade situations. So I'm thinking right here will be perfect. So we get this hosta out. Oh, dug up a bulb. That definitely would have been a daffodil. A couple of them, it looks like. So we'll pop those in somewhere else. All right, French Kiss hellebore is the same size, 18 to 24 inches, tall and wide. Okay, these are the Max Vogel anemones, Japanese anemones, and they've done toppled, they have flowered. I'm gonna cut them back because they're actually toppled right over top of this tough stuff hydrangea. And I think I'm going to pull a few of them out, kind of thin this to just a few plants. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Really bizarre twisty stem there. Must have got stuck under something. So normally I leave everything standing through the winter, but these did self-seed last year, and I imagine that they're gonna self-seed even more this year. Plus I want to be able to see the plants that I'm going to be pulling out a little bit better. Just trying to make sure I don't cut any of the Haas Halo stems or the Tough Stuff stems. Now we can kind of actually make out the shrub separate from the anemones there. Okay, so this plant in the front, I'm just going to dig out, and I think we're gonna keep that out. I don't know that I'm gonna transplant that anywhere. I might, but I'm kind of not at a loss for these plants. There are plenty of them, and like I said, they spread quickly, and they seem to grow pretty well for me. So whether I keep this one or not, I'll be able to dig up more in the spring if I need to. Hey there, welcome back to Featherwood Farm. We're in the front yard in the Daydream Garden. It's mid-October and it's 80 degrees right now. It is quite warm. It's really beautiful, and we have a forecast filled with decently warm temperatures, no freeze in sight. We did have our first freeze last week, so all of the cut flowers did get hit, and they're all dying back right now. I'll have to go and clean those up soon. Everything in the garden beds is tired. It looks really tired. This is probably one of the longest growing seasons I've ever experienced. We had such an early start on the year, and now it's going late into the season as well. So yeah, everything is tired. But I am up here getting some new things planted because the weather is still permitting that. There aren't any hard frosts in the foreseeable future, so I should have 3 to 4 solid weeks where things can settle in. It could be risky, but I'm not super worried. And then I've also been kind of editing stuff as well and removing some things, moving things around, that sort of stuff. Just sort of preparing myself for spring. So I'll take you through and show you what we've done. The chickens have been coming behind me and assisting, so that's fun. All right, so everything leading in from the backyard, right off the get, has remained the same, and my pour stones will just never ever be visible thanks to the chickens. But over here, I did get in a hellebore, and I'll put the tag, or I'll put the name up. I don't recall right offhand which of the 2 new ones it was that I put in, and took out a hosta from there, moved that. I got in these Alexandria brunneras, which are incredibly beautiful. They're very, very silvery, almost metallic foliage. You know, they look a little worse for wear right now because they're end of the season here. But I have 3 of those around the little bird bath there. And hosta right here. I've had them kind of smattered throughout from a couple years ago when I got them all on clearance, and I just plopped them in, and some of them are very poorly spaced and they got hit by the deer, so nothing looks great. You can see that one's been nibbled down, but we got that right here in front of this Bobo hydrangea. And here is another hellebore that I put in. Again, I'll put the name of that one up. I got one of the show-off starlet forsythias right there next to, I think it's Feather Falls. I'll put that name up. That's a sedge, a variegated sedge there, super pretty. I have a few of those that I put in today, or a couple at least. This is all pretty much the same. I would like to get like a bush clematis for this trellis to just kind of grow within that. I think that would be nice. It's too short for any sort of vining clematis that I found. I don't think that I've seen any that, only get to maybe 4 foot. So I think that would be nice there. And backtracking a little bit, on this opposite side, here's one of the hostas that got relocated. It's just kind of filling this out over there. And another one of those variegated sedges. Really, really pretty. And I'm gonna come through and cover this with something so that the chickens don't destroy it while it settles in, but that's another hosta that is barely anything at this point. And I went through and removed, I want to say 3 or 4 larger anemone plants here. These are the Max Vogels. They've been spreading pretty well, taking over more space than I would like for them to, and kind of crowding out the tough stuff hydrangea as well as this Haas halo back there. So yep, pulled a few of those out, still left a little grouping. I'm actually thinking I might come in and remove more, but we'll see. That might be a next year thing. But I also wanted to, give room for this boxwood and this penstemon that I had put in to breathe. Put in another hosta right there. These are the dark rider geraniums that were getting a little bit smothered by those anemones as well. So they look a little leggy and yeah, not great. But now that I've removed the plant that was right here crowding them out, they should do a lot better, so long as the deer leave them alone. And nothing over here has changed yet. I do have 3 meadow sages right here. They're a shorter variety, pink, that I would like to actually push these echinaceas back a little bit. Put those up here behind the little angel sanguisorba. And then here's where I have the white wands Veronica, which performed okay this year. I don't think they're getting as much sun in this spot that I think they would like. So I plan on pulling these out and putting them in the redbud garden where there is a lot of room in that kind of new bed I'm working on. And then over on this side of the walkway, I did this reworking a couple weeks ago. I pulled out the few Six Hills giant nepitas that I had. And this is a whisper pink nepeta that I had transplanted from where the farm stand is, along with this phlox as well, and 3 of the Black Hills Beauty bug banes, and then a couple of hostas here and here, as well as a plug of the avalanche grass right there. So again, this looks a little tattery. We have had an incredibly dry autumn so far. The month of September, there was basically no rain. I think like no registerable rain. And we had a really good rain last week. And yeah, that was the first in maybe 4 weeks. So really unusual autumn weather there. Very warm, no rain. So while fall usually is a, decent time to plant things, it's been a bit of a struggle here just because I've had to supplementally water everything, and that's usually not the case. We usually have a reliable enough flow of rain. But we're expecting good things for next year. Really excited about how it is all filling in and looking. So I'm pretty happy with the way things are coming along, and doing these little edits feels good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this garden in the springtime. I know everything's just going to continue to fill out and look beautiful, so long as I can keep the chickens in check and the deer away as best as possible. But thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video.